Hey guys, this is Louie and I'm back with another video. As you can see, I'm in my gym right now. I'm about to get me a workout, and also I decided to be a nice dad today. So my kids are running around, and usually I tell them, hey daddy's gonna record a video, can you guys hold it down? Today I'm letting them do their thing and let them have some fun. So I decided to just set up in my gym real quick and give you guys this video, okay? Now, please stick with the whole video, okay? Stick with the whole video. I'm gonna try to make it as quick as possible, but I need to tell you guys the events in the order that I'm telling it to you guys, so you guys can really understand and have a clearer picture of how I got hacked, okay? So this story today is about how I got hacked, okay? Boom. So I'm fresh into college, right? I've been into college for a couple months, and I decided to get my Linux Plus. Boom, I take my Linux Plus certification and I passed the CompTIA Linux Plus. So since I passed, I started to put my resume together and I started to apply for jobs, right? Now, my main goal was to get an IT job, regardless of if it was cybersecurity or whatever. I just wanted to get into the information technology field so I could move on from there, and hopefully I get in with a company that has a cybersecurity department and I can pivot over. But my main thing, since I do not have any IT experience, I do not have any cybersecurity background, I'm not a geek or a computer whiz or whatever. I'm coming from the fitness industry and I'm making a big change in my life to get into cybersecurity. I just need to get into an information technology role, right? So I passed the Linux Plus and I started to put my resume together and apply for jobs. I applied on Indeed, I applied on LinkedIn, I applied on Glassdoor, I applied on ZipRecruit, and I'm applying. I probably applied for 200 to 300 jobs, right? The thing is, though, I'm not keeping track of the jobs that I applied for. So I don't have a list of jobs where I'm like, okay, now let me go over and make sure that when I get an email from someone, this is actually a job that I applied for, right? Which is something that I encourage you to do and I make sure that I do now. So I didn't do that and I just applied for a whole lot of jobs, right? I'm not getting no calls, application denied. After I passed my Linux Plus, I started studying for the Network Plus. I scheduled that up, and the day that I took the exam, I passed, right? And right after I passed the exam, I called my aunt, right? Because I'm excited. I'm like, man, I already got 2 certifications and I'm in college. I haven't even gotten through the first year of college yet, and I'm getting through this, I'm killing it. And if I could land me a job, that's gonna be even better. Like, I'm gonna really be proud of myself. So I call my aunt. I'm like, hey, auntie, I passed another certification. She's like, man, good job, good job. Doing her auntie stuff, motivating me and stuff like that. So while I'm on the phone with her and telling her that I passed the Network Plus, I get an email. I check the email. It's a job offer. Hey, applicant, thank you for applying to our job, or whatever, 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 whatever. Right? So I read the email. It's for like a network administration job. I think it's network admin or network engineer, one of them, right? I haven't looked at the email in a while. But I'm reading through it. The email is looking legit. I looked at where the email came from. It was at the company name. So the company name is Lesson. So it was at lessoncareers.com or something. And I looked into the company to make sure that the company was for real. Like, I'm researching it. While I'm on the phone with my aunt, I just went quiet for a minute. I went quiet because I'm reading this and I'm like, man, I can't believe this. The same day I pass this certification, I get a job. I'm like, man, God really work in mysterious ways. So I'm reading the email and I'm making sure that this company actually exists. It's a real company. So I'm like, okay, I emailed them back and said, yes, I would like to proceed forward. Like, I would like the job. And then I'm telling my aunt, I'm like, Auntie, you wouldn't believe this, man. I just got a job offer letter. And she like, oh my God, oh my God, this is so good, whatever, So boom, after I responded to the email and stuff, they sent me back an email. I don't remember if it was like the next day or so, sent me back an email with an interview. So it's an interview kind of screening, right? So they sent me like a list of questions and like you answering the questions. So it's kind of like they screening me before the interview. So I'm reading through the questions they asking, the screening interview questions, and I'm going through it and I'm answering it. And from the description, it's letting you know, hey, there's no right or wrong answer, but these questions will be taken into consideration for you to get the job. So I'm going through the questions, I answered the questions, I sent it back. They sent me an email with the job offer letter and then also letting me know what all I would need for the job and all of that stuff. And this job is remote, by the way. So they letting me know, hey, you're gonna need all these devices and equipment so you can work from home, right? And we provide you with the money to get it and all that stuff. So quick pause, right? The reason why they even got me was because I didn't see any red flags yet, right? From my perspective, especially, I was so excited, I didn't want to see any red flags. That's the problem. I was so excited and I really wanted to get a job so bad that I didn't see any red flags, and I made myself not see any red flags. Boom, back to the story. I got the offer letter, I got the email with what I will need, and they let me know they'll send me the money after I sign the offer letter. I signed the offer letter and I sent it back to them. When I sent the offer letter back to them, in like an hour or two after, I got another email with the check, right? The check was for $4,700 or something like that, 4,000 and change, right? So I got the email with the check and they let me know, hey, just print the check out, sign the check, and then deposit it electronically. Once you deposit it electronically, the money will be available for you. You'll take that money and you buy the equipment listed in the email that was sent previously. So I'm like, okay, now, like I said, they haven't asked me for nothing out of the way. The only thing they really asked for was my driver license. But I've been a hiring manager before. I've hired people and all that stuff, and we take the IDs. Like a lot of times, you get the ID of the person, you put it on file. Okay, they get a driver's license, put it on file. They haven't asked me for my social security number, nothing. So I'm still thinking like, okay, this is cool. This is legit. I'm not, and they're not asking me for no money. They're sending me the money. They're giving me the money, the bread. So I'm like, yeah, you go, cool, right? So they told me what to do. I print out the check, signed the check, did the electronic deposit, right? It said submitted. Right? So I let them know, like, submit it. It said that it's going to take an hour or two or something. It could take a couple of hours or a day or whatever. So I let them know. So I'm waiting. Finally, I think I got like a notification or an email from my bank. And it's saying that it can't deposit the check or whatever. So I'm like, huh. So I called the bank. And when I called them, they said, no, they asked me if I printed the check or something like that. I said, yeah, I printed it. It's for a company that I'll be working for. They just sent me the check and they told me to print it, sign it, and deposit it so I could buy the equipment I need. And the woman said, hey, okay, well, just let them know to send. And she was like, so the lady, she was like, hey, tell them to send you the check in the mail. And when you get the check, you could do it over. Or you could just come in person and deposit it, either which way. So I was like, okay. So I emailed them back and I said, hey, the check, there was an issue because I printed the check and they told me to tell you to email me the check And when the check comes, I could redo the process, or I could just come in person and just deposit the check, either which way. So they was like, okay, we'll send you the check. It's gonna take about 2 to 3 business days or whatever the case may be. But in the meantime, we need you to lock in your equipment. I'm like, huh? What you mean lock in the equipment? We need you to pay some money, right? And lock in the equipment. As long as you have something that we could put on the equipment to hold the equipment for you, we good. Now that's when I start to think. I'm like, wait, this is the first time they ask for money at all. So I'm like, what you mean money? What you need money for? You know what I'm saying? Like, put the money on the thing. And then also I'm thinking, if this is your vendor you work with, why are you guys sending the money to me and not send the money to the vendor and then just let the vendor mail the equipment to me? Or have the vendor mail the equipment to you guys, or however you do it, you know? So that's when I'm starting to think now. I'm like, nah, something gotta be wrong, something off. So after they told me that, I said, no, I don't have any money to put on it. I'll just wait for the check. So they was like, well, we really need you to lock your equipment in, you know? So now they're being pushy. They're putting the put. Now that's what really giving me the sign now, because the pushiness. I'm like, okay, they're being pushy. There's got to be a fraud. And now I'm starting to get angry and I'm starting to get pissed. I'm starting to feel discouraged a little bit because, like I said, I really want to get this job. I really want to get in this field. Cybersecurity is my passion. So, you know, just being able to get into the information technology world, you know, it made me feel happy. So I was getting angry and everything in one. Like, I'm so happy that this person wasn't in front of me. So the whole time I'm thinking to myself, okay, this person is being too pushy. They're being too pushy. But then in my head, I'm like, okay, where did they get this check from? Because the check had my name on it. I'm like, man, where did they get the check from? Where did they get the check from? How did they, you know, where did they get this check that looked like the actual people, the actual company check, whatever? So I start to think, I'm saying to myself, I wonder if these people was trying to get me to deposit the check, and if it had went through and I had sent them the money, eventually the bank come to me and try to arrest me for fraud or some craziness, you know? So I'm like, man, I'm like, these people crazy for real, you know? People are real crazy. So I keep telling them I don't have any money. Now I'm kind of curious to see what they're gonna do, what they're gonna tell me, right? So what I ended up doing was I said, okay, I got about $500 I could put down. They're like, okay, that's good. Okay, and when you get the check, we will reimburse you the difference or whatever. I say, all right, cool. I said, who do I send the money to though? Because I want to know who they're gonna tell me to send the money to. So I'm waiting. They sent me a Venmo name, and the name was like a female name, like Tracy or Alina or some name. I can't remember the name exact. And when I saw that, I said, yeah. And then the whole time I'm going through the process, when we reach to that part, my wife is like, babe, something wrong, right? And once they sent me the Venmo name, I was so angry, I just walked out the door. I went to my gym and I was chilling for a while. I'm angry. I'm like, man, I can't believe they really did this, you know? I can't believe this. And I started doing my research. So from there, I just started researching, like trying to figure out who these people is, what is going on. And I ended up calling the company the next day. I called the company. And when I called the company, I let them know, because I got the real number for the real company and everything. And I let them know, I say, hey, I got a call from, the person name was Christopher something. Hey, I got an email from Christopher, whatever. And they told me I got a job with you guys. You know, he's supposed to be a recruiter or whatever. And I got a job with you guys and stuff like that. And there was like, what's the name? And once I tell them the name and I told them kind of like what the email said, they said, listen, you are like the 50 something, like 57th or 56th person that called us about this issue. This is a fraud. Do not send any money to this person. Do not send any money to this person. This person is a fraud. This is not our company. And then they also asked me to send them example email, like send them emails with the examples of the email that I got and the offer letter and the check and everything. And so I sent it to them, and I haven't heard anything from them if like they figured out who it was, or they fixed the situation, or whatever the case may be. But this video really is just to bring awareness, right? My biggest flaw for this whole situation was I wanted to get into IT so bad. I wanted to get a job in the information technology field so bad that it clouded my judgment, right? So I want you guys to be careful whenever you guys put in these applications on Indeed and LinkedIn and all these different things. Be careful. Be careful, please. Okay? Because the same thing that happened to me could happen to you guys. And sometimes it don't be a company that you applied for. But the fact that your information is already on these sites, they taking that information and they finding you, and they crafting their emails and they'll send them to you, and you could get caught up, you know? Anybody could get caught up, you know? People just gotta know what your weakness is, you know, a lot of times. And my weakness in this situation was the fact that I wanted to do good. I wanted to get a job, and they used that to their advantage, and they almost got me. Thank you guys for watching. I hope I didn't make the video too long. You know, I was trying to make sure that I get the thoughts out and make sure you guys understand fully what happened. If you guys have any questions, comment below. If you have any stories on you getting hacked or whatever the case may be, comment below, and I'll be very, very happy to hear. And I will see you guys in the next one.